Hey everybody, it's Andre, and it is Tuesday, April 23rd, and this is 5 Awesome Musicians. I come here with a plea for all singers out there. Stop doing so much Jason Robert Brown. Let me start off by saying that I like Jason Robert Brown's music. I'm a big fan of his shows, and I've played Songs for a New World in the last 5 years 2 times each. I saw the last 5 years back in March off Broadway. I love it. I love his contemporary style. I love his piano parts. I love the vocal lines that he writes. His music is not easy, but it's not so difficult that it's unattainable, which is one reason why I think people enjoy it so much, because it's a good challenge. I know that's one reason why I jumped at the chance to play the last 5 years the first time I played it, because I knew it would be a challenge and it would be a good goal for me to work towards as a pianist and as a music director. But singers, actors, I beg of you, please explore composers other than Jason Robert Brown. Now, if you're watching this video and you're thinking to yourself, well, Andre, just at a masterclass yesterday you played 2 songs by Jason Robert Brown. Why are you insulting those singers? Let me tell you, I'm not. I'm not insulting any of the singers I've worked with on Jason Robert Brown music over the last few years, the last 5 years. I'm not insulting any of the songs they chose. I'm not insulting the way they sang it or acted it in the shows or anything like that. But I am saying there are good musical theater composers out there, and I feel that they are being ignored because we're stuck in a collective Jason Robert Brown rut. One of the songs I still enjoy playing and really have to pay attention to is I Could Be in Love with Someone Like You, which I guess apparently is also known as Irish Girls. And it's the song that was originally Jamie's first song in the last 5 years, and it was cut and replaced with Sheik's a Goddess. The urban legend is that that was the song that was cut because Jason Robert Brown's ex-wife sued him over that song because it was too close to what their actual relationship was. Anyway, and it's on Jason Robert Brown's solo album, somebody wearing somebody else's clothes, trying on other people's clothing items, whatever it's called. I can't remember the exact name. One of the things I like about playing that piece, there are awkward time changes and the beat gets turned around almost like in a Gloria Estefan song. It's also written somewhat less pianistically than a lot of his other pieces. I feel like that song should be played more on just bass and guitar with drums. Plus, it has a sweet lick at the very end. But you know what? There's music other than Jason Robert Brown. Georgia Stitt, Jason Robert Brown's wife. Pasek and Paul. Will Van Dyke. Will Van Dyke, who's the assistant music director of Kinky Boots right now, has a great solo album out. Great music. Jonathan Reed Galt. Michael Patrick Walker. Brad Alexander, whose Sea Rock City album was just released. And the book for that show beat out the Book of Mormon in the Drama Desk Awards 2 years ago. Kerrigan and Loudermilk, the songwriting team behind Title of Show, and Now Hear This. Joe Iconis. Tom Kitt. Lin-Manuel Miranda. Tommy Newman. Ryan Scott Oliver. And then there's all the other countless musical theater composers out there who maybe just have a few songs written, or who have a few demos written, and you can find their stuff on YouTube or newmusicaltheater.com. This is not anti-Jason Robert Brown. This is pro-other contemporary musical theater composers. And admittedly, a lot of these younger composers would probably not be writing the things that they're writing if it weren't at least for the partial influence of Jason Robert Brown. I'm not saying that we need to ignore Jason Robert Brown's music or forget about Jason Robert Brown's music. What I really just want is for our singing and acting communities out there to explore other musical theater composers. It might mean you have to do a little bit more work to find a song. It might mean you have to spend a little more money to find a song. I feel that he is casting a long shadow and other musical theater composers are getting stuck in the dark. My challenge for you this week, fair viewers, is to find a song that is new to you by a contemporary musical theater composer. If you can perform it, fantastic. If you have a video clip of it, or an audio clip of it, share that with us. Share us the title, share us the composer, the lyricist, what show it's from. This here is our musical theater box right now, and it consists of Sondheim, Jason Robert Brown, and maybe a Rodgers and Hammerstein song. I want to take this box and expand it to fit in, obviously, older composers, which is a subject for a different day, but at this point in time, expand it with some of these new musical theater composers we have out there. And finally, one last thing, if you are a big fan of the last 5 years, I do encourage you to submit a story to the New York Times. I will post a link down below. They are looking for stories about how the last 5 years affected you, either as a person or as a musician, an actor, a drywall installer. And with my little tirade being over for the week, I hope you all have a great day. I will see you here next week after a quick jaunt down to Birmingham, Alabama. Sayonara.